Welcome to the Dawg Chug. Roger, how's it going?
I'm doing great. I see the Dawg Chug is babysitting tonight. We're on babysitting duty tonight.
Yes,
Awesome.
we are. Fun note, when you're going to the Browns game in the morning, you're not allowed to do a podcast the night before without feeding and then getting up at 6 a.m. to go tailgating. You got to pick your battles. So I am going to just hang out with Weston during the Dawg Chug tonight, and then I can go tailgating tomorrow.
You could just, with Heather, blame this all on me. It was my idea to do the show tonight.
Yeah.
I hounded you. I was relentless.
He just wants to get on and crow about the big win, the college win that he had today. So
he's a Michigan fan.
Who's that?
Weston.
Yeah, he's a Michigan fan, a Steelers fan, a Yankees fan, Cowboys fan. He pretty much hates all the
everything.
Loves Steph Curry. Loves it. Favorite player.
Wow.
You little shit.
Attaboy. Well, it's going to be an interesting show tonight.
Yeah, we wanted to jump on today. We went on Wednesday because of the holiday and because I was at the Cavs game. But we wanted to come on tonight and, just have some fun. It's been a tough week for Browns fans, for Ohio State fans, not for Roger.
No.
But we thought we'd just come on and, we usually do these bits because we're insecure and we don't think we're funny enough. So tonight we're just going to come on and just be real. Just be fun. It's going to be great.
Yeah, just have got a couple guests coming on. We got Sherry. She's driving. She's on her way back. She's in a car on the turnpike. So we got her. We got three Michigan fans on tonight with Bill.
Yeah.
We got Bill. But Chuck's going to give us some info on the Guardians. We're just going to have a round table. No bits tonight. No update. Just sit here, drink some beer, and talk. Shoot the shit.
And I do owe Roger a 3-minute chug, and I have a half hour to do it. But we're gonna take care of Weston first because I'm a responsible father. Right in his mouth there.
I'm gonna sip mine. I'm still gonna drink 3 of them, but I'm just gonna sip mine.
All right. Yeah, your victory.
This is number 2. I'm already number 2 into the night. So we got on a little late. We started a little late, and I guess let's bring in.
Hold on.
Everybody in.
I have some questions for you, real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not okay. I would love to show MC Lawrence's comment, but I only have 2 hands here, and they're both. MC Lawrence says, "Hope Baby Mansion poops, so Andy has to change the diaper live." Yeah. If I have to change him, I will do it off camera because I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Could be wrong. All right, I have some questions for you, Raj.
Okay.
First of all, how does it feel? Because last year, how long was the streak? How long had I?
And Andy, I lost track. I have a bet with one of my very close lifelong friends, Jose Gonzalez, on Facebook, and I wore a Buckeyes hat for 9 years. I think 9 years straight. And this is the second year he has to wear it. You know what? Last year, like you were about to say, go ahead. You said last year.
Last year, you had to lose. We had to lose eventually. So last year was the year, which I'm sure was amazing to get the monkey off the back.
Oh,
but
man.
This year solidifies it. This year, you've kicked our ass twice in a row. How does it feel?
It feels good. You know what, man? It's not like I'm not a guy that's going to gloat. I'm not going to give you nasty, messages and say nasty things on Facebook. It feels good because the truth of the matter is Michigan being good is good for all of Big Ten football and Ohio State. And they're relevant. Jim Harbaugh, as crazy as he is, had a plan. Hey, you know what? This shirt is hung back here with my clothes for a year, unwashed. I wore it last year on the day, and I'm going to hang it back up. It won't be washed until another L. But I bought this in 2006 in a thrift store in Berea. It's big house football, but I had to wear my Hamid shirt tonight. It's the boss. Yeah. You got it.
All right, next question.
Yeah.
You had been sort of, a little harsh on your criticism of Harbaugh and the job he was doing there and why they're holding on to him. He stayed, and now it looks like it's been a pretty good decision. They're undefeated this year. They're going to move up to number 2 most likely. The Ohio State Buckeyes now have lost 2 games to Michigan. We all know when you lose this game, it's when you go. Should the Buckeyes, in your opinion, should the day be up for Ryan Day?
Should the Buckeyes fire Ryan Day? Is what you're basically asking me?
That's the question.
As far as I'm concerned, they should keep him, give him an extension, and pay him through 2030.
Let me put it like this: would it be in the best interest for Ohio State to keep him, to continue to build around him, or should they move on?
Man, how do you? How many games has this guy even lost? 5, maybe. You know what I mean? But I know how important this game. But if you look at, it's completely different because you look at Harbaugh. He came in, and I was expecting the Jim Harbaugh to guarantee to win and piss Bo Schembechler off. He went out and he beat Michigan when he played the game. And I remember watching that, and that's the coach I thought I was getting. When he came in, Jim Harbaugh was like, man, Ohio State's awesome, man. They're great. They're going to kick our ass, basically, because he knew that he couldn't compete with them. It took him a while to build a program. Ryan Day walked into a program that Urban Meyer built, and what has he done? It's a big game. I don't know how often do they fire coaches in Columbus, in Michigan. Harbaugh, a lot of people were calling for his head early on when he took over Michigan, but he had a plan. Ryan Day had a completely different situation. He walked into a well-oiled machine.
So it sounds like you're sipping on this one.
I'm sipping. I'm 2 wells in.
All right, final question.
All right.
What can the Wolverines do in the playoffs this year? Can they win it all, or is this a team that beating Ohio State is the Super Bowl?
You know what? People told Jim Harbaugh, you can't run the football and win a natty, and he said, hold my beer. And that's exactly what he's done. But in order to do that, you have to have a top-ranked defense, and that's what the Michigan Wolverines have. That's why they beat the Buckeyes today, because of their defense, not because of the offensive. Buckeyes would have outscored them easily if it wasn't for Michigan's defense, because that's what the Buckeyes do. This is our best chance to win it. The Buckeyes are the best team the Buckeyes are one of the best teams in the country. We beat them. Michigan can easily win a national championship this year.
Nice. Love it. Let's bring another famous Michigan fan. Let's bring Bill. He was on our show 2 weeks ago. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think you should go watch that show instead of watching this one. Although Bill's going to be on again, so you should watch both. Bill, welcome back to the Dawg Chug, wearing your Michigan gear proudly. How's it feel?
It feels real good. I was nervous going into this game. I just thought, the key was going to be our defensive backs and their wide receivers. And what ended up happening is we had 2 wide receivers who maybe caught a total of 10 balls all year, make huge plays. Yeah. And then our defensive backs, really the second half, they were fantastic. They communicated so well back there together. And to just watch how really, again, that second half, these coaches from Michigan, they have got to be the best second half team in the country. I don't think there's another team that can produce like they're doing in the second half. So my hat's off to the coaching staff, which really is, Jim Harbaugh got them all. But man, it's a good feeling. I was a little nervous, Roger. I got to be honest. To hear Corum was going to run, and then all of a sudden he runs for 2 plays, and then he's gone. I'm like, oh my gosh! And then
you seen him point to us. He walked off the field, and he's just like, I can't make that cut.
No, yeah,
he couldn't plant and make that cut and go.
And then when I saw Donovan Edwards in the glove that he had, I'm like, my gosh, that's a Mickey Mouse hand. And I thought, how's it gonna? And he's holding the football with his left hand the whole time. Never did he move it over to the right hand. And he was like, I'm going to do whatever I can to will my team. There were so many phenomenal performances by that club, offense and defense. So it's really a great team win, and hats off to Harbaugh too.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? I just made me think about, and I said this to the network in the chat that my my little side venture of having a big house sip like podcast, on the side. Look at this, right? We're gonna lose follows on this, Andy. I lost 20 follows this week, and I only posted twice, and it was nothing nasty or mean. It was just like a football post, and 20 people just like jump ship. So
You know what? If you send a tweet out that you only lose 20%, or sorry, 20 people, it's probably a good tweet. Don't worry about it.
yeah, no, I don't. It was just funny to me that people are that sad. I'm like, I didn't even say anything crazy or anything nasty or not even mean spirited. It was crazy, man.
I hear
Buckeye, they could be fragile.
And I mean, it's got to be tough too being an Ohio State fan because you just think you are, you're expected to make the national championship every
they've
year.
won for so long, and like this generation of fans that are in their 20s and the early 30s know nothing but just kicking everybody's ass constantly. So,
yeah, between Tressel and Urban Meyer, I get it. I just, it's been a long time for us, and it's just nice. I mean, 2 years back to back like this, winning at home too.
But
Winning on the road.
It's not going to. Michigan and Ohio State's still going to be. I mean, every year they're going to be right there. Michigan, but the thing is that Michigan's going to be right there with them again. And somebody from the Big Ten, it's huge when it expands to a 12 playoff. They're shooting for 2026 is the date, but they want to try to do it by 2024 to have a 12-team playoff. It's going to make more bowl games more important. The Big Ten needs to have a seat at that table, with not only 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 teams when that happens. So Michigan being relevant, we need more Big Ten teams. They're joining the Big Ten, USC, right? Yeah. So Big Ten needs to be sitting at that table with a couple good football teams when that happens.
And they will be. And then with Wisconsin,
right.
With Nebraska now with the new hire.
With the new hire, right. Wow. So it's important for the Big Ten.
I agree.
I know Buckeye fan don't want to hear that today, but it is in the long run, man.
Hell yeah.
Michigan's good.
Now we're 2-6 in the Dawg Chug. We know what the people want. We want, Michigan fans crowing about this win. So let's find another Michigan fan out there. Sherry.
Yes, it's a Michigan night.
Welcome I'm in Can you guys see me?
We can
hear you.
We can hear you.
Hold on, I'll show you the highway.
She's driving.
That's my exit.
I want to listen to Bob Seger. Sherry like the wine. How you doing tonight?
It was quite the eventful evening. The afternoon was awesome. And
Feel outnumbered.
Well, we're not going to be mean to you like somebody was mean to me for my fandom.
Yeah, but if you have to admit, you are an unemployed scientist, so.
Well, that part actually made me laugh really hard. Like,
because he couldn't spell it.
Right, he spelled it like backwards. I'm like, okay.
MC Lawrence does point out that there's probably a minimum of 4 better teams in the SEC than Michigan, and you know what? We are going to find out. You're going to have to get out of the Big Ten and play some. You're going to play Georgia.
Oh, that would be fun.
All right, so I have to pay up a little bit. We're going to do 3 Mad Elves. I have we'll say till 11:15. See how that goes.
We're gonna be asleep.
Yeah,
we'll be like Weston.
And I have been drinking tonight, so I'm not sure this is a really good idea.
I would never guess
because Nick Carnes and I are going to go tailgate.
Oh,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's going to be amazing going from this, epic game to watching a 45-year-old quarterback kick our ass.
Hey, and he's from Michigan,
right?
He's from Michigan.
Just hey,
full circle.
I almost want to root for Brady tomorrow.
know you can't do that.
Roger,
But-
come on.
What's your
I'm
Tom,
joking.
Roger?
I'm joking. You know, when I was over Brady like 3 years ago, I was
Okay.
over Brady. I'm done with Brady. Enough with him. Enough. Retire. Nobody's going to beat your records. Just step down and go do
All right.
something.
I am feeling a bit outnumbered, so let's bring in an outsider's perspective. He's not a Michigan fan. He's not an Ohio State fan.
I knew it was coming.
Talk about the big game. Chuck, welcome to the Dawg Chug.
There
What's
it
up?
is.
What's up,
There he
everybody?
is.
How we doing?
Did
Chuck,
you watch the big game?
Yeah, my dad. By the way, Andy, my dad's actually a big Ohio State fan, a big one. Me, I'm more of a Rutgers fan, and our football program is not the best.
So you became a Guardians/Indians fan because of your dad. Why did you not follow his Ohio State fan?
I know a lot of people ask me that, like, why are you a Knicks fan but you're not a Cavs fan? Why am I a Guardians fan but you're not a Yankees fan? Baseball is always, to me, was like the father-son sport, and baseball was just always on in my house when I remember when I was a kid, always, no matter what, always. I just remember that like when I was like 5 and 6 years old, my dad would always be sitting there on the couch screaming at the television in the summer about the Cleveland Indians. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's a great
Chuck,
answer.
I applaud that because you know what? It's easy to jump on a bandwagon, like, jump on a winning bandwagon, and as a young person, especially, and you'd had a correlation with Ohio State. I applaud that because
I've never seen a championship in my whole life out of any of my teams. The Knicks, the Guardians, the Jets.
The Jets haven't won.
Jets, my
we
God.
got the Cavs. We got the Cavs. That's what I've.
Out of any of my sports teams, I've never seen a championship.
I was at Game 3 of the World Series.
Yeah, it's Roger. I remember watching the World Series, Indians Marlins with my dad when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll never forget it. Indians Braves as well. It really is amazing how bad the Cleveland sports luck is if you think about it as a whole.
Nah, it's all downhill from here. Everything's gonna be amazing. Guardians are gonna win like 3 championships in the next 5 years.
That's right. By the way, Roger, I just remembered. I also lost 10 followers, or I think even 15 followers, the day we lost to the Red Sox this year. I remember Rich Hill shut us out, and I was just losing my shit, tweet after tweet, screaming about how can we not hit Rich Hill throwing 80 miles an hour, and over 15 followers unfollowed me out there.
All right.
I remember that, Chuck. I
Yeah.
remember when that was happening, and you were just like, "Oh, I remember."
Tweet after tweet, like maybe like 15 tweets in one inning. Can we get a damn effing hit here? Just like
Chuck was losing it, and that's when I loved Chuck before I've ever even met Chuck because I just watch him on Twitter and be like, "Chuck, it's gonna be okay, man. I swear."
I canceled my podcast that day. I was
You
so
guys,
upset.
I'm pulling into the garage, and I'm gonna switch devices and see if I could get back on. If not, go Browns.
Sherry, be careful. That's not that.
Sherry,
that's not
are
that
you
easy
going
to do?
Sherry from the Turnpike.
Yes, now in the garage. So
Are you going to the game tomorrow, Sherry?
I am not.
Well, fuck you then.
You're in trouble now.
All right, Bill, I have to ask you a question because you're a real man. Have you ever tracked how many followers you've lost or tweets? Has that ever even occurred to you?
That concerns me. I'm not even worried about that. I'm just out here to.
I'm putting you over on this side. You two on the right. You're insecure. Stop it. Stop tracking how many followers you lose.
Yeah, I don't care. I follow who I want to follow because there are people that I've gotten to know.
Let's put us on top. You guys are on the bottom because you have some growing up to do.
But no, I don't. I really don't care about that. I know there have been some that have blocked me because of the Michigan stuff. But you know what? Life is too important here to sit here and worry about who's following you, who's not following you. So
exactly,
I agree. I got most of my follows riding Nick Carnes' coattails. So I knew that. Like I got up to like 3,035, and I stayed at 3,035 for like 6 months. I was there, and then I tweeted this week, and I looked at it, I'm like 3,005. I'm like, what the fuck? Because of Michigan. So, but yeah, I got that high because of Nick Carnes. I just ride Nick Carnes' coattails. I make fun of him, and
it is kind of a funny thought to be like, wait a minute, this guy follows a Michigan fan? Fuck that! And then I'm gonna
right.
What is wrong with you? I don't know.
It happens, man.
I had like 200 follows. I met Nick Carnes, and I got like 2,200 in a week because I knew Nick Carnes.
He's one hell of a guy.
Yeah,
he's got a big following.
I gotta say, this Mad Elf is wow. This is
the Mad Elf. The Mad Elf.
Yeah, it's like 11 point.
Yeah,
it's almost 3 beers in one, and it has a little bit of cherry, but it mostly tastes like ass.
Mostly tastes like what?
Ass. Yeah.
You don't think it's good?
Well, yeah, I mean it's good now when you're chugging it. Obviously, yeah. This is a sipping beer.
It's gonna be
definitely a sipping beer.
That's what Weston said too.
I'm on number 3 already.
How do you think the rankings are going to fall out?
I got Christmas ale. I got my backup.
All right, Phil. How are the rankings gonna pan out?
What TCU, Georgia, USC is going to take care of Notre Dame. LSU lost. They got stomped on by Texas A&M. I don't know what the hell was that. I don't know what that was. So what is it? It's going to be Georgia, Michigan, TCU,
USC. I think that's going to be your 4.
Probably USC 4 and TCU 3.
Yeah.
Can TCU beat anybody like for real? Every time I watch them, they are amazing, but they're always playing inferior competition. Can they stand up to the big boys?
I don't know how you predict that.
I don't know.
My favorite college game I've ever watched was Boise State, Oklahoma. You remember that bowl game, the Fiesta Bowl? That was my favorite game I've ever watched. College.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I don't even know. I was in high school, maybe. I don't remember. It was a long, long time. It was when Adrian Peterson was in college. It was when Adrian Peterson was in Oklahoma. So you got to figure a nice 13, 14, 15 years. More.
All right. I know we said no bits, but let's do like a on the fly bit. Let's have some fun. We're gonna do spit, sip, chug. We're gonna go around the horn, and everyone can come up with whatever statement they want. Roger, we're gonna start with you.
That's splendid.
What kind of statement?
Any statement.
Just a statement.
You can say anything you want. Just make a statement, and then we'll all spit or sip or chug based on how we feel about it.
Okay. Jim Harbaugh will land a 5-star recruit quarterback because of the success he's had.
What about the quarterback he has now? You can make the argument he's in 2 years he's going to be top.
Jim Harbaugh's never landed a true 5-star recruit, elite, like the quarterback everybody wants type quarterback, like an Andrew Luck, and turn him into a professional.
That's been his problem. I mean, that was his whole problem and why he didn't have success early in the year, early in his, the first couple of years with him. He never had a quarterback.
Never.
He now had a quarterback last year. And then with JJ now, he's got another quarterback. And Gaming Green, his younger brother, who I believe right now is quarterbacking his high school in the high school championship, he committed to Michigan to be with his brother. So wow. He's a 4-star recruit. He's not a 5, but I'm going to go with that.
Chugging.
This program's hot right now. This program is very hot. They like a coach who can coach. They like a guy who look at a classic example. Look at the end. Rinaldi wants to interview him. He's like, no. You're going to interview JJ. And then he goes to get Donovan, and then he brings Donovan so he can be interviewed by Rinaldi next.
How about a guy that played in the game, played in the Super Bowl?
Guys, we're out of order here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roger, I disagree. I respectfully disagree with what you said earlier.
I'll put up the.
I really don't want to have a 12 team college, 8 team college playoff or a 12-team college playoff. I really don't want to see
What
it.
would be the right number of playoff
4.
teams?
I think 4 is fine. I do. Not everything has to be.
Okay.
They need their TV money and everything will be great and money will be flowing, but not everything has to be that. I think 4 is fine the way it is. We used to have 0, guys. I think
Right.
4.
All right, so Chuck, let me ask the question then, because it always feels like at 4 there are 1 or 2 teams that get absolutely screwed, that are like
there's
do some damage that don't get the opportunity because it's such a arbitrary process. So wouldn't, if it expanded to 6, wouldn't we at least get like whatever
tough shit? You don't, sorry.
See, you're equating this to baseball. Baseball is awesome because we have less teams making the postseason and every game matters.
I just don't think everything has to be like the NBA playoff system is
terrible. Right.
It's
not good. It's not good at all because it doesn't matter. Every NBA game doesn't have any consequence. All you have to do is make the playoffs and then you're fine. So every game I go to in regular season feels like a preseason
not
game.
Everything has to be everywhere. Everything is included and everybody gets their TV money and everybody goes home happy. I think 4 is fine. We used to have 2. We used to have 0. It's just my opinion. I'm not, it's just my opinion. I'm not God. I don't know what's best for everybody. It's just my personal.
I don't want it to ever get to like well over 18, like you were saying. I think like 6 to 8 is probably 6 is probably the right number.
So what would happen? The top 2 teams would get a bye. Is that what would happen?
Yes.
At 6?
Top 2 teams get a bye.
And if
That'd
you go
be
to
interesting.
8's fine. I mean, 8 would be good too.
They'll never settle at 6. So it's going to be 8.
Yeah, 8's probably going to be the magic number.
Don't you think 8's going to be a disaster though? Like, because then we're looking at 3 lost teams getting in.
No, you're going to give schools like a Mid-American Conference, like a Colonial Conference. You're going to give them
but they'll have a
opportunity.
chance. They'll be in the dance. They'll have a
exactly. Here's the
they
thing:
may lose,
there's Cinderella teams,
but let them have a chance.
Have an amazing story.
I know, but we don't want college football to become the March Madness.
They won't. They won't win. They won't make it. But at least these other programs can at least say, "Hey, we can get a seat at the table."
Right.
What do you think, Bill? What do you think? 3 lost teams would get in?
Well, we already had one of Andy's followers say that Michigan can't beat 4 SEC teams right now, and
I mean, at least they'll have the.
It should be designated though that it goes to a conference champion. So, and I'll use the Mid-American Conference because I went to Miami of Ohio.
Right.
So Ohio University is having a really good season. They could very well win the MAC. Do they deserve a place to be at this table? Why not? If you go to 8, make it every division.
Yeah,
I should say every conference champion is in.
Yeah,
they
but then
it 8,
the
7,
SEC
6,
and
5,
the Big Ten and
fine.
The SEC and the Big Ten and the Pac-12 are going to go crazy that their 2 lost teams aren't getting in, and everybody's going to start.
dead. Pac-12's dead.
Yeah.
Once USC and UCLA come over, Pac-12's gone.
I agree.
The Big 12 is actually kind of staying relevant because of TCU.
Right.
But because of the fact that UCLA and USC are coming to the Big 10, that's why I say give some of these other conferences just a seat at the table. They probably.
Do you think the committee will ever agree to that to have all the conferences, have all conference champions get in?
Look, if I'm an athletic director for the Mid-American Conference, and I call my other conference ADs, and I'm going to say, look, if we're not going to get a seat at the table, pull out. Come on out. Let's have our own division. Let's do our own football thing. Let's let them, if they want to sit there with the SEC and the Big Ten, if they want to do their own thing and have their own championship, fine. We'll do our own. There is a possibility that could be interesting, and you can probably have enough streaming networks that might be like, hey, we'll take you. We'll bring you on. You want unlimited content where you can do whatever you want. You got it from us.
It's just that the committee doesn't really care about the Mid-American teams, and they don't really care for them really. That's the problem.
No, you're right. They don't.
Hey, Andy, this turned out to be a pretty good show. We got some pretty good guys here. Let's sit back, you and I drink
Hey,
beer and
I
let
think
them.
we have too many guys though. I think we need to
Get
add
Sherry back
Sherry
in here.
into the equation.
Oh, Sherry's back.
All right, back in Cleveland. Left the Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
All right,
Sherry,
Sherry.
that was very impressive driving on the highway on Dawg Chug. That was impressive.
Boyfriend,
Well, I wasn't driving.
Oh, that's true.
boyfriend driving.
I was riding shotgun.
Sherry, how many teams should make the college teams should make the postseason playoffs?
And I wish I followed it.
All right, name a number between 4 and 12.
7.
7 is the
Somebody gets a bye.
So the number one seed would get a bye.
perfect.
Alabama gets a bye because they're fucking Alabama.
Hey, Alabama could get in with 3 wins now with the 18 playoff spot.
I'm so fucking tired of Alabama.
Yeah.
Nick Saban, just pack it in. Big Ten's taking over. Michigan's going to win a natty.
All right, Roger, you said Harbaugh will be able to attract a top 5 quarterback recruit based on everything that happened recently. And we're going to go around the horn and either spit, sip, or chug. So, Sherry, we're going to start with you. Does this win help him be able to attract a top 5-star quarterback recruit?
I'm going to say yes, because it's no longer so one-sided, because we were getting our asses beat for like, yeah.
Uh-oh. Sherry, we're not hearing you.
We're here in Weston.
Yeah, Weston's trying
She's-
to hopefully
She's our resident genius.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I think it will recruit people because they're watching. It's finally back to being an exciting rivalry as opposed to just getting like clobbered game after year after year after year. So I think this is gonna put a little more excitement into recruits.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I think Harbaugh is probably not the best coach, but I think he's a good guy to I think assistant coaches want to work for a guy like him because he's honest. He tells it like it is. He keeps it loose, and I think everyone under Harbaugh just fucking coach the hell out of these guys. Where you have a guy like Ryan Day, who I think no one clearly likes working for Ryan Day. So I'm going to say yes. This immensely helped Michigan's program and hurt Ohio State's program. So I will chug. I think they're in a better position.
That took a wild turn. Now you're
Bill. Chugging.
Is that one of your dogs or?
That was
It's a little squeaky toy.
yeah, that was
What the
Chip.
hell was that?
It's a little squeaky toy.
Squeaky
For
toy.
Weston.
I'm gonna go.
It's a little
I'm gonna
squeaky.
listen to your answer, but I'm gonna go get a milk.
Go ahead.
The tiny dog found one of his favorite toys, and we just got in, so he's all excited. So
Oh my
he
god.
has to squeak with joy that he's returned home.
Tell us about your trip. Tell us about your trip while Andy's gone. What's going
We
on?
did Thanksgiving yesterday instead of Thursday. Yeah, that sounds right. And no, it was nice. I mean, Pittsburgh it's a nice city. We went to the zoo earlier tonight. They had the drive around lights set up at the zoo, so that was kind of fun.
Oh, sweet. That sounds lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Tough little man.
Weston is, yeah, he's baby Manches. Hey, man, I met him in person, and he's all about business.
Damn, I'm so jealous.
He's all about business. He looked at mommy, and he was just like, I was said, baby Mansion. He was locked into mommy. He wasn't budging. He's all about business, man. He's adorable, man. What adorable.
Where are we at in the?
We left.
Bill, you chugged. I didn't hear your answer. I don't think.
I think he is. I think Jim is. He's starting to get those guys that he couldn't get before. I think guys like him. I think they really realize that he has their best interest. And the other thing I think a lot of people forget is, one of the goals that Jim set up for the program this year was he wanted to have more players dress for a Michigan game than ever has before in any program. His goal was 120 guys to dress and to play. And at the first 4 weeks of the season, there were a couple of weeks he had 90 guys that he got into play. 90 guys.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, the guys love playing for him. I think the coaches love coaching with him. He could do it. He could convince the guy to come on over.
Weston, you're a shitty show, dude. Come on.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Why do you think?
I want to just take him and hold him and.
Okay.
There he goes. There he
He's
goes.
looking at us.
Okay.
What are you doing there, buddy?
What a little cutie, huh?
What a cutie pie you are.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah. Boy, our ratings are going to skyrocket.
Yeah, I know. Just hold him up to the camera. Just a little more.
Look at how good.
There
Look
we
how
are.
good the chugging.
11:10 at night, baby man.
He's a party animal. Look at him
He's
go.
something, huh?
Bill, I just want to say I love that. Like the biggest advantage college teams have over NFL, which is why I think a lot of college coaches can't produce in the NFL, is because you have such a a Swiss Army knife of talent that you can do anything you want. Any guy you need, you have that position. You have 17 guys that can be linebackers, and sub them in and out whenever you need them. It's such an amazing advantage, and to really use that as your call to be like, this is why you should play for me. That's fantastic. I love that. Still not a Michigan fan, but I really
Okay. We love you anyhow.
thank goodness for Michigan believing in Harbaugh, even when it looked like that was a disaster hire.
Agreed.
Right.
Chuck, what say you?
I'm gonna spit on this.
Oh,
Oh,
Chuck, you heard?
I don't wanna
Dad
spit
is an Ohio State fan, so okay, just calm down. Okay, here.
But no, well, so what's the exact question? That he's going to get a 5-star recruit?
That he can't. This helped him get a 5-star
Well,
recruit.
Jim Harbaugh never struck me as that like down to earth, say whatever you want to hear.
Yeah.
I'll be your best friend kind of guy. He never struck me as that kind of guy. He's a great program builder. He always was. He always has been. I just don't picture him as a guy sitting with parents, just sweeping them off their feet and telling the kid everything he wants to hear. Once he has a kid in the program, then the sky's the limit. 'Cause I think he's an amazing program builder. He never struck me as a great recruiter. He never has been. Alabama, Ohio State, South Carolina, Gamecocks somehow are great recruiters. I don't know. It never was Michigan's game to get 5-star recruits. But having said that, he is a great program builder and a great executing game plans. I just don't see it happening. It never was his game. I just don't see it. Just my personal opinion. I could be wrong.
You're saying he's going to sharpen the tools that he gets. He's not going to get.
Yeah, it's just once they're in his program.
Still fixer-uppers.
But
Yeah, I don't see him attracting the top. Let's say if it's the top quarterback in the class, I just don't see him. He just doesn't strike me as a fun guy to talk to and hang out with. I think
Have
Nick
charisma.
Yeah,
Chuck, did you ever
I
watch,
think Nick Saban and Dabo Sweeney can sweet talk their ways into recruiting over.
Charming.
Yeah, Harbaugh is more like the let's just play football kind of guy.
Yeah, he's all business.
Did you ever see The Replacements?
Yes. Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So you're saying that's Harbaugh. He's the guy that's going to take the buffoons and the losers and turn them into winners. Or I guess Major League would have been a better
I-
example.
I mean, it's pretty much what he's doing if you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I
You know,
mean,
the quarterback
absolutely.
today, I was sitting back watching the game, saying to myself, "Holy shit, this guy's going to be a great pro," and he might be, a top prospect in the class in the draft in the next 2 years.
I got a question.
Yeah.
If I'm the father of a kid that's a 5-star recruit quarterback and probably the best quarterback in the nation, and a guy like Jim Harbaugh walks through the door, who played in the NFL, who coached Andrew Luck, who played in the game himself, walks in and wants to. He's never had a shot at the kids that you talked about today with the quarterback. I mean, he just played a ball. That kid's just got heart that'll
He'll
never
probably-
stop. But if Jim Harbaugh walks into my house and I have a kid that's that kid, man, I know where he's going to school.
Recruiting can be a little weird. Like, we don't really know the ins and outs of recruiting. Like, so much goes on. It's so much diverse and difficult to like the one play here. There may be some stuff going on at the table. There may be certain commitments the parents want to get. It's a whole different ball game recruiting. Just my opinion. But it's never been Harbaugh's game. It's never been who he is, and he's doing a great job this year with not such 5-star recruits. I just don't think it's going to change in the next few years. It's just my personal opinion. I say that a lot, by the way, just my personal opinion, because people on Twitter get to think that we predict the future and we know what teams are going to do. We don't know shit. We're just saying our opinions,
All right. Fair enough. And yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Calm down, buddy. Sherry.
Yes.
Do you have a Spit-Sip Chug question statement you could pose over my crying?
You're adorable. Okay, I have it doesn't really fit the format of the game, but it's a question. Out of the guys you saw today play, who would you to be a future Browns player? Like, who really would be like a missing piece of the puzzle?
Oh my god.
Just out of these two teams.
So I watched this entire game. I've not watched a lot of Michigan football before today. I would say everyone that was playing linebacker for Michigan.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
They were so good today. They made so many plays. It was awesome watching them fly around the field. I mean, they were in a situation where they were like definitely outgunned, but it didn't matter. They didn't see it that way. They were going to win this battle regardless, and they did. I mean, they neutralized every part of Ohio State's advantages. Ohio State got tight. They couldn't even fucking perform at a certain point. I think that all the linebackers.
It was stunning to watch. At the second half, stunning.
Yeah, it was stunning. Chuck, so well said. It was stunning to watch. I think the NFL does not value linebackers the way I think they're going to in probably a couple of years. I think linebackers is where it's all coming from because they just
Get rid of them.
so much play. And to me, Michigan's linebackers really kicked ass, and it was fun to watch.
Okay, so you take any one of those guys from that. Yes, Bill.
So do I have to chug or chug?
You could, and Andy, I'm going to tag on to you for a second. You can pick any one of that offensive line. Those 5 guys on the offensive line were, again, amazing. And because I've written a bunch of stories about Michigan, a lot of those guys are the second teamers.
Right.
A lot of there are 2 first teamers that have been injured all year for Michigan. You can argue and say that offensive line was not their best 5, but it's the best that I've seen an offensive line play against Ohio State this year. But I'm going to pick the one guy, and he is a linebacker. This is Braden McGregor. I'm telling you, he's number 17. he was all over the place. That second half, you could see him. There were times he would rush. There were times he would back off and he would get into the play. He had a tackle for a loss. He had a near interception on late in the fourth quarter. He just created havoc there as a 6'6" junior linebacker. I love the kid. And again, you look at him, he had I think 6 tackles all year. This is the Michigan has had so many injuries to key people. I mean, Mike Morris didn't even play the game. I would argue Mike Morris could very well be the best middle linebacker or defensive player on both teams, and he didn't even play today. And here we have Braden McGregor, who had just really an outstanding game. So, Andy, I agree with you. I think the Michigan linebackers were really good. And I just thought the offensive line for Michigan, I can almost pick anybody, but I love the center. I can't remember his name right now. I mean, this is 2 straight years. This guy has dominated, and I can't think of a better thing to put on your resume for pros than to say, hey, I was the starting center for Michigan 2 years in a row and beat Ohio State.
Yeah,
that was some top-notch stuff from Bill there. That was wow.
Before you talk, one of the things I want to give Ohio State, Michigan credit for, the game plan. Like they, made their career running the ball, and they just said, "We're not going to run. We're going to pass." And Ohio State said, "Fuck you, then pass." And they dominated passing. And then when Ohio State said, "All right, we're going to stop you from passing because we're getting killed," then they ran the ball and dominated. It was so fucking fun to watch. It was like a chess match where one team was playing checkers and the other team was playing chess.
Yeah, it was extremely exciting. And that's nice to have back in the rivalry,
I love watching football where you see, the moves being made. And probably my biggest frustration about the Browns this season is like, it just kind of feels like whatever the game plan going into the game is kind of where it is at the end of the game. It was awesome witnessing this game. Clearly, Michigan changed their battle plan like 3 times and just fucked shit up. It was awesome to watch.
So I'm gonna go. You know what, Bill? You know what I'm gonna go Jesse Minter. That's who the Browns can use. The defensive coordinator for Michigan. Poor Al Woods. All Browns fans have thrown him under the bus and run him over 55 times. He's everything that's wrong with the Browns this year. So Jesse Minter. He coached the shit out of his unit today. Strode was just completely unglued. Didn't know, especially in the second half.
That was a blood.
They kept Harrison the best they could. He got the touchdown, but I thought they did the best they could. He really is, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in college football, in my opinion.
Agreed. Hands down.
But I thought they did the best they could on him. And C.J. Strode in the second half just couldn't get going.
Yeah, it seems like
you started to see and you saw Ohio State completely just to lose control. What the hell was number 88 doing? Headbutting him on the sideline? What the hell was that?
Oh.
So that'd be my pick. Jesse Minter and poor Al Woods, man. They're throwing him under the bus. It's my timeline is full of Guardians fans. Everybody's a Browns fan. Every day it's just fire Joe Woods, fire Joe Woods, fire Joe Woods. He's poor, man. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah.
MC Lawrence says great linebacker plays depend on really good defensive line play, which is absolutely correct. Browns.
Jesse Minter is what the Browns need.
Dude, that's some good critical thinking right there.
All right. Well, Roger, what say you?
I'm gonna sip on it. I don't even remember the question. Hey, look, what Michigan play? You never look at DPJ was drafted in the 6th round.
6th round.
And this kid had heart. He grew up in Detroit. He's a Michigan fan. Other schools wanted him. He said, "No, I'm going to go to Michigan because that's where I want."
Hold on, Roger. Can I please quiz you? Can I quiz you right now?
What's that?
Can I quiz you? Can I ask you a question to see if you know the answer? You're actually very confused. Seriously.
I told you I sipped.
All right, no, I'm going to ask you a
New
question
question.
based off of what you just said. Who was the quarterback when DPJ was drafted by the Browns? I mean, who's his quarterback when he played for Michigan? That's what I'm asking.
Who was the quarterback when he played at Michigan?
Yeah.
Man. I couldn't tell you what quarterback they had. And that's the thing. They had no quarterbacks, and he still went to school there.
He wasn't a 5-star
What's the
recruit. I
name?
bet that.
I bet if we ask Bill, he knows.
What's that?
Bill, who was the quarterback when DPJ was with the Michigan Wolverines?
They had
it was.
He was a top guy too. He was a top guy, but he sucked.
All
right, good.
You catch me off guard.
Bill's pretending he doesn't know just so you don't feel like an asshole. Thank you. Anyway, Roger, what was your question?
I sipped.
I'm asking for your question because it's your turn.
I'll say Shea Patterson. Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, Shea Patterson. I get Andy. You know how many quarterbacks have rolled through Michigan over the last 10 years?
I don't know any of them. Yeah,
I can't pair one up. Denard Robinson is the last one that I remember that anybody else will remember.
For a Madden.
And he went in the NFL draft as a kick returner, I think, for a week. He was in the NFL.
John O'Corn.
That's when I lived in.
Hey, when they got Rich Rod and he decreased the weight limit on the football roster by 100 pounds, we were fucked.
Yep.
And it took 20 years to rebuild that shit.
Bad. Then we got Brady Hoke we were stuck with.
Well, Brady Hoke, he was fucking sleeping at the wheel. He
was.
went to Michigan.
He's a nice guy.
They needed somebody that went to Michigan.
It's like a nice guy.
The job was too big for him.
Andy, look what you did.
Do you guys remember the punter that used to kick for Michigan? Probably like I don't know, 2005 through 2008 era. Zoltan Mesko.
Wow, that's an impressive name.
I can't say that I do. No.
Well,
he wasn't. I didn't have him on my big board.
That's my neighbor.
Really?
He for Michigan for for like 3 years or 4 years maybe, and then he played for the Patriots, and now he is my neighbor.
He's your neighbor?
Yeah,
that's the guy that you want to show me. I want to see his basement. I hope he has a plumbing problem.
He's got Michigan.
I hope he has a plumbing problem. Let me know if he's got any plumbing hassles whatsoever.
I'll be like,
I will be right over.
Roger said he'll do it for free.
He would. Roger be there all free.
I will be there.
Yeah, he
by the water heater for you.
He played for the Patriots. He played for the Steelers. He played for the Bengals.
Huh. Pretty cool.
Yeah. You know Zastadil too, though, right? Didn't he live nearby you or something? No.
No. But Zastadil was great. Anyway, by the way, I did finish my 3 Mad Elves, which you can tell because I can't even talk anymore. It's great. By the way, whose turn is it to come up with the next question? I think it's Bill's.
Bill's
statement.
Oh,
okay. So I would argue that this weekend in probably, I don't know, the past 15, 20 years could very well have been the craziest television weekend with the World Cup and with all the rivalry games and everything else going on. I'm going to go and I'm going to say something about the men's national soccer team. I think they have the possibility of making the final 8.
Wow.
World Cup.
Nice.
Boom.
Woo.
All right. Chuck, you go first.
I'm going to sip on
USC
that.
Make the final 8.
I'm going to sip on that.
Ooh.
Roger move early.
Chuck's come fighting tonight, man. He's ready to go. He's
party animal over
I
there.
like our chances versus Iran on Tuesday. I hate how every game is at 2:00. It means I gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna get out of work and Yeah, I definitely like our chances on Tuesday. What do you think, guys? What's the line? I didn't even check. What's the line in that game? How are
Good question. Hold on. I'm looking that up right now.
We have to be. We're definitely favored. I know that. The question is how
the
much.
line.
See if I can find it here.
All right, Roger, give your answer, and we'll go back to Chuck.
We don't have to go back to Chuck. I'm sipping all the way USA to the final 8, baby.
Well, unlike Chuck, I'm not upset with the 2 p.m. games because it gives me a reason that I don't watch soccer.
We're all soccer fans during this time of year, Roger.
But this time of
4
year,
years.
I'm all about the World Cup. I wear my Adidas. It's Adidas is how you pronounce it. And I used to wear. My wife bought a pair of tennis shoes one day. She's like, "Hey, look at these," and I'm like, "Hey, those are soccer shoes. They're I forget the name of them. But I'm a soccer fan once every 4 years.
I think we all are.
And the people on Twitter are like, how do you watch this? How do you watch this? Nobody's doing it. It's a tie. That's every 4 years. But you know what? I watched Pele play the game when I was a kid. And I watched Argentina with, wasn't it Diego Maradona?
Yeah.
Play the game of soccer. And because of that, I appreciate the beauty of soccer. And every 4 years, I tune in and I watch the United States of America play soccer. So how about that?
It's a very peaceful game. It's not
There, 100%.
I'm a baseball guy, so like I can sit down and hang with a 4-hour sporting event any day of the week. But it's like it's very quick. It's not like a long thing commitment. It's like 95 minutes and you're basically out of there.
I know, man. It's just brutal. But like my sons, they wanted to play. Jack wants to play soccer. I'm like, no, don't play fucking soccer. I don't want to stand around for 3 hours watching you play soccer. But if he wants to go and play soccer, man. But I watched some like I said, Diego Maradona, and watching him play in the game, watching Pele when I was a little kid, and he played in New York in their soccer league for years. And I remember watching Pele, and when you see somebody like that, the true greatness, and really appreciate the game of soccer.
Right.
And I saw today a guy posted on Twitter that we gave England a 13 colony lead, and they still can't fucking beat us. Yeah, we gave a 13 colony lead, and it's our 5th best sport, and we still fucking tied England. So,
all right.
Oh my God,
Gary, what do you say about this? Not this question.
Wait, you asked me?
Yeah.
About the what? I'm 100% with Roger.
There you go. You can't go wrong with that.
You're also sipping.
Yes, I am.
You're sipping without sipping. So there it is. You're sipping and sipping. Wait, why are you sipping?
Me?
Yeah.
Did you ask me why? I don't know. I'm with Roger. We're on the same.
I rambled on so long, everybody forgot what the fuck the whole.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, we're Chuck. Yes.
Bill, who would be in our group if we advance?
So if we finish second, so let's say we finish second, we'd have to play the Netherlands because I figure probably the Netherlands will probably win the Group A.
Right.
If Ecuador wins Group A, then we play Ecuador.
Yeah.
So what it is right now is the second place in our pool will play the first place in Group A.
And do you know when the next game would be after Tuesday, or is that?
I think it would. Well, that's a good question. I think after they do the first round, they take like a day or two off, and then we could very well be
Friday.
Let's see. Well, they play Tuesday,
Thursday or Friday, I guess.
It could be maybe Saturday. Wow. It's a possibility we can play Saturday. I'm going to take a look at that and see right now. But
what's the line on that game, by the way?
That's what I'm looking. I'm not finding anything from a line standpoint right now, other than I know we're favored against them, but I can't find a plus or minus right now.
Majorly favored.
What do you think? -500?
maybe it would be 10 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh, okay. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock Saturday.
10
Let's
o'clock.
see.
And is that a single game elimination?
Yeah, then you start playing. For,
I didn't even know that Dawg Chug was
going
going to
extra
have
time and
World
all
Cup
that other fun
soccer
stuff.
coverage.
Yeah, it's like win and you're in, or lose and you're out. That's what this is.
I love pretending to be a soccer fan every 4 years. I love it. I'm sitting here watching the game on Friday. I'm like, where the hell is Clint Dempsey and Josie Altidore? I'm just like, oh shit!
I mean, listen,
4 years later,
soccer and football are the most pure sports there are. Like,
Andy, how are the Mad Elves going down?
yeah. So 3 have been down. So we're down. Yeah, I did. Now I can't talk, obviously.
Roger, you ever want to like break your TV when you watch soccer because like we're not attacking the goal, we're just like passing backwards? It feels like sometimes.
None of us are that intense of soccer fans. So you're probably not, but the people that are, yeah, would love it. Have you ever watched Ted Lasso?
Oh yeah,
Chuck.
What was the question?
Have you watched Ted Lasso?
No.
Oh, we gotta watch it.
Am I supposed to?
It's so
Gotta
good.
watch it.
You and your
I
wife.
will look
TV.
into that.
Really good,
Yeah, it's good.
funny, well done, excellent.
I will definitely look into that.
So okay, so our odds are. It looks
I'm
like
going
we are
minus
plus
550.
Bet MGM has the Americans at plus 110.
What?
What it says.
They're saying it's like 50-50 then.
We're in trouble. That's not as good as I thought. Holy shit! I was a little off there.
That's what Bet MGM has. There could be other. I mean, I'm only looking at that site right now. That's it. But the thing with soccer is, we love 2 and 3 yard runs. Like, hey, give it to Chubb, 2-3 yard run, right? We love that stuff. With the Guardians, we love bunts. We love being able to move the ball over and stuff like that, right?
Just hearing you say the
Guardians in
Guardians
soccer
made
is
me
the
happy.
same thing. A pass backwards in soccer is the exact same thing as a 3 yard run or a hit and run, or that gives you a little bit of a feel for kind of when you're watching the game. Why do they pass it back all the time? A lot of times it's, hey, let's pass it back, let's reset.
Trying to spread out the defense. Trying to spread out the defense a little bit.
And look for places that are not paying attention. You're looking for defenders, or you're looking for little mismatches places. If you get a guy out of position and stuff like that. So, you kick it backwards. A lot of times it's just, hey, let's relieve the pressure. Let's just start again. Let's maybe try it down the other side this time instead of the left side. It's
tedious.
It is. Roger, it is. It really is. And that's part of the allure of the sport. You can sit there and like 20 minutes and go back and forth.
Right.
And then it's 5 minutes, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I will
It's a chess match. Soccer's more of a chess match than we like to say. Andrew Barry's playing chess. We're fucking, in our grandiosity that we are as Browns fans. But that's what soccer is more of a chess match. I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. I grew up with 3 guys that played professionally in European leagues. I grew up soccer all my life. I just never was good at it. So, all right. Go ahead.
I don't think I've had a chance to make a statement yet, but here's my statement. You can all spit, sip, chug based on how you feel about this. Kevin Stefanski is clearly going to be here for the 2023 Cleveland Browns, but he will also be here for the 2024 Cleveland Browns. So he'll survive, the following season. Bill, you're up.
Go.
Ooh. No, he won't. Jimmy Haslam has already shown that I think he's going to be giving him enough chances. And I think after this year, he's going to have to make changes. Now, granted, it will probably be a defensive coordinator. If you want to give him 2023, I'd hate it, but okay. 2024, no way. If he does not produce in 2023,
You're saying Stefanski should be fired immediately. Is that what I'm hearing?
I know I'm hearing from you that your question is Stefanski will be here in
Yeah.
2024,
Follow-up question then. Yeah.
right? Is that your question, right? That Stefanski will be here 2023 and he will be here 2024.
Yeah.
And I'm spitting on it. I do not think he will be here 2024 because I don't think they're going to have success in 2023. I haven't seen anything that's going to tell me that they are.
Wow.
Wow. What about the rapist?
Don't do this to me because the Ravens always seem to find a way with second, third, and fourth stringers that we can't because they have coaches that can coach these guys up.
Yeah, it all comes down to the coaches, right?
You have to remember, and here's let's keep in mind who hired Joe Woods.
Kevin Stefanski.
Well, if you say Andrew Berry first and that he had input from Kevin Stefanski, I think it may have been Andrew Berry who hired him. Do you realize that their defensive coaches all had like 1 or 2 years experience when they came on? 1 or 2 years experience. I think the only guys that had more than 2 years were Tarver and then Kiffin's brother. And then Kiffin. Those are the only 2 coaches that had more than 3 years experience other than Joe Woods. You can't build a defense like that. This defense was not set up to succeed early on because of how they hired Woods and who they hired to be his assistant coaches.
Wow.
Wait.
Bill laid it down, man.
Whose fault would you put that?
I'm chugging on Bill's comment.
At the end of the day, everyone wants to succeed. So
Bill does not mess around.
Is this under? Like, who dropped the ball, in your opinion?
Is this back at me or is this for anybody?
Yeah, it's back at you. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Kevin Stefanski hired his own defensive coordinator.
So you think he didn't have the power to hire his people, so it's...
No, I think they had a plan as to who the defensive coordinator is. I think they cleared it with Kevin and said, "Are you okay with this?" I'm going with Andrew Berry and with DePodesta. I think those are the 2 guys that came up with the plan for. I think DePodesta was the one who wanted to have Stefanski. I just don't think that you're going to sit there and say, "Yeah, Kevin Stefanski. Who do you want to have as defensive coordinator?" I want Joe Woods. Boom. I don't believe that. I may be wrong.
Right.
I don't
Can
believe
I ask a follow-up question? It's a shit show. We can just fucking free reign. Can I ask you a follow-up question? Goddamn. This, by the way, Matt Elf it's fucking terrible. Do not drink it. All right, here we go.
No, I'm
between here. Paul DePodesta, Andrew Berry, or Kevin Stefanski, who is the low ball, like the one that's anchoring the other 2?
I think I know what you're getting at, Andy. All right, I'm
getting at too, right?
I'll go out there and say it, and then you guys can comment. And I could very well be wrong, and I'll be the first to admit it. But I don't think DePodesta was brought in here just because of his analytics. I think he was brought into here to assist Berry because I think he and Berry were on the same page. I think DePodesta is the one who's doing a lot of this maneuvering in the background. I think he's getting a free pass by the media.
Yeah, clearly.
I'll go back to this. I think the Deshaun Watson trade was all DePodesta. And the reason I say that is if you go back and you watch his press conference, he started saying, "I got our man," and then he said, "We got our man." So I thought that maybe DePodesta was the one who really said, "This is where we're going to go." He cleared it with Berry. I mean, Berry was so uncomfortable in that first press conference. It looked like he was just deer headlights.
Watching rape victims. Oh, sorry.
But I think DePodesta is the linchpin for the other 2.
Wow. Okay. Do you think? Okay, so fine. DePodesta said we needed a quarterback. They got their quarterback. They fucking did insane things to get the quarterback, which pissed most Browns fans off. Whatever. Is Deshaun Watson going to be successful for the Cleveland Browns? In your opinion, Bill?
I think the problems with this Browns teams are not going to be solved by Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
And I don't think the problems with this team are because of Jacoby Brissett.
I
think
agree.
This team has other problems, and I don't see him being the one thing that's going to be the answer for everything.
Yeah, the culture's fucked. Yeah, I mean,
anybody else want to chime in? I feel like all Browns fans are not going to be like, "What is he saying? I can't believe it!" Or
no one's watching.
We're on a round table on this, I think. So,
that's right. It's a round table.
Yeah.
It's kind of a round table.
I'll guess I'm gonna sip on this. No, not sip. What's the in between sip, spit, and
Sip is the in between, Chuck. Yeah.
Sip. I'm gonna sip on this. Let me sip my beer here. Oh, look, Stefanski bothers me. Everything about him bothers me. If I have to hear that guy say we're gonna play better one more time, I just want to break my phone every time I read it. Look, poor Joe Woods. All Browns fans are convinced that he is the only thing wrong with the Browns this year. He's literally been thrown under the bus, ran over 68 times by all Browns fans this year. I will say that Deshaun Watson is coming back next week. I'm with Bill on this. There are way more problems in this team. I gotta be better. I agree with Bill. The problems are a lot deeper than Deshaun Watson just coming here and playing well. Look, I'm a Jets fan, so I got big problems at quarterback.
Yeah, you do.
So if Watson plays well, and then that seems, I think he survives this year. I think they fire Joe Woods, and then Stefanski lives on for another season. But if Watson does not play well next year, you guys are gonna have bigger problems than Stefanski getting fired. But I do think he survives this year. But this is not all on Joe Woods. But that's what's gonna be. He's the scapegoat. I don't know. He's gonna be out before the season. You can make the argument. They got special teams isn't sharp. Offensive line is a bit banged up, a little bit underperforming as well, some here and there. The defense obviously a problem. It's just there's a lot of problems, and the culture all around. Look, if it was me, if I was running the team, I'd fire Stefanski yesterday. I just don't like him as a coach and as a leader of men. I just don't.
Okay, nice.
But I think he survives this year.
I don't think I got my answer. I don't know the question. I'm going to sip because it's routine. I think it all depends on Deshaun Watson's going to play 6-7 games. They're going to say it don't matter what he does. We know what Kevin Stefanski has done with Jacoby Brissett, Baker Mayfield. We know that he can call plays. Kevin Stefanski's problem was he didn't hire a defensive coordinator that is ex-head coach that can take that side of the ball and nobody has to worry about it. He hired like Bill was saying, inexperienced or guys with 1 or 2 years. I think it's going to depend on Deshaun Watson saying, "Yeah, this system I can play in this system." That's what it's going to hinge. Kevin Stefanski's job is going to hinge on. Is if Deshaun Watson, because if you look back, when did this all start? This all started in Texas when Deshaun Watson didn't want to pay for Bill O'Brien, and he wanted a new GM, and he wanted changes in Houston, and that's when this all started. He was in a shit system with Bill O'Brien. He was in a shit system with the GM. He fought back. They blackballed him. And all of a sudden now he's in Cleveland. It's going to depend on what Deshaun Watson feels about the system. Kevin Stefanski, you pay $230 million guaranteed to a quarterback. he's going to get the head coach and the offensive coordinator that he wants.
All right.
True.
All right. Well, this has been probably one of my favorite episodes of Dawg Chug, but we should probably move on.
I never gave my take, Andy.
Chuck, what's your take?
What?
I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to go really fast. I don't want to be a one-trick pony and only be like the Guardians guy, because I know that's who I am on Twitter. So I'm going to try to – first I'm going to go the Guardians will trade for Sean Murphy next week, and I'm going to be on Dawg Chug and talk about it. That will happen. It must happen. Not this week, the following week during the winter meetings.
Yeah, we got it.
And Caleb Williams at USC will be a better NFL pro than Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Trevor Lawrence. I just watched that guy play versus Notre Dame. Holy shit. I was like sitting on my couch like, whoa, that guy can play.
Chuck, the Murphy question was the big question I wanted to ask you tonight.
Absolutely. Fire away, Roger.
Ask you no matter what. I have it right here on one of my cards. I'm with you, man.
It has to happen. It has to happen.
I'm chugging on that.
Sean Murphy is the biggest upgrade that we can make on the Major League roster right now.
Yes.
It's probably going to take a bit, to get something, you got to give something. It's probably going to be realistically, it's probably going to be either George Valera or Gavin Williams, along with probably Brian Rocchio, Angel Martinez. So 2 top 5 prospects and another top 220, probably around Logan Allen, left-handed starter, and maybe like Xavier Curry around there, Jose Tatum. Yeah, so it's going to be, you're going to have to give a lot, and it's going to hurt, but it has to happen. And I might have a heart attack on impact when it does.
I'm with you, Chuck.
All right.
But I miss him. I was laying in bed last night, and my wife asked me, Chuck, why aren't you sleeping? It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I miss the Guardians. I'm not the same without him. Miss him terribly.
They'll be back soon. All right. This has been the best episode of Dawg Chug we've ever had.
I think so, too.
Phil, Chuck, Jerry, Roger, let's go. Go Browns. Let's kick
Browns.
that old
Go
man.
Browns.
Let's just fucking murder him. Let's go.
JTS, Jets.
Jets. And the Dawg Chug with